Yo, I'm B Wade. This is my channel, B Wade Sports. I'm gonna be talking about just how I feel as a Clemson fan after week 3. Um, we lost to Georgia Tech by a field goal, last minute field goal. Um, just how I feel going toward the rest of this season and stuff like that. Very disappointed. Not really upset anymore. Kind of just getting used to it at this point, which is really the problem. Um, as you know, Clemson was good for a long time. They're still considered a top program probably in the country, and the man that built us, Dabo Sweeney, is starting to be the reason that we suck, and that's what's kind of hard to say because you don't want to put the blame on the guy that made your program what it is, made your program big, because Clemson was nothing when I was a little kid, and they slowly grown into being that premier program that is supposed to get a lot of talent and is supposed to be favored every year to being a playoff team. And Dabo's what got us to that level. So you don't want to You don't want to point the blame to him when obviously we've seen it work in the past. But now is not the past. We're in a new age of college football, and I just don't think he's got the drive and the hunger anymore necessarily to be able to coach us to win football games like I want to win football games. I know some fans are content winning 8, 9 games a year, which we probably aren't going to win this year, but I know some fans are content with that every year, but we grew the expectation up to be competing for national championships every year. We ain't done that in 6 years now. We haven't competed for a national title. And at first, the scapegoat was DJ Ugabadoogie and the offensive coordinator, Brandon Streeter. Our offense looks worse nowadays with Garrett Riley these past couple of years than it did with Brandon Streeter. And the defense this year don't really look at it. I mean, it looks a little bit better, I guess you could say, but it really don't look much better than it has years past with Wes Goodwin. We just look awful, man. We're one of the worst teams in Power 5, Power 4 football, I guess you call it now. We're nowhere near a top 25 team. I'm glad we're not ranked no more because we do not deserve it. We have one of the worst offenses in college football, and I don't know who's calling the plays. I don't know if it's Dabo or if it's Garrett. If it's Garrett, he needs to be fired. We need a new offensive coordinator. And if it's Dabo, that's a problem. We need to hand the calling sheet to somebody else and let them call plays because Dabo's job, he's a good motivator. He talks good. He can get you motivated to want to go out there, but I don't know if Dabo's really an X and O guy. I know back in the day when it was Scott and Tony Elliott calling plays, we had a pretty good offense. We had Chad Morris years before that. We had a good offense. Of course, on defense when we had Brett Venables, we had a top 5 defense in the nation every year. And I don't know if Brett Venables was a key reason to the way the program is today. I kind of think so because when I look back on it, when Brett left, that's when the mood changed of like, we're not this gritty team anymore. It almost seems like we became, I don't want to say soft, but kind of soft compared to what we used to be, I feel like. I mean, we're soft nowadays. We get pushed around by smaller teams. They'll run the ball all over us. We can't tackle. We're not physical. Our offensive line's not physical. I know it's not reality. You almost want to just say bench everybody. You almost want to say just put a freshman QB in or the backup, put a Vizina in, and put the young running backs in to see what they can do. You know what I mean? Because even though it's not going to happen, it would just be a change, man. Because this ain't going to work. I mean, if we play like we have so far the rest of the year, we might not win another ball game. And we got Syracuse coming up this week, and Syracuse isn't good. We're going to be favored in the game. We're supposed to win the game. But the way we're looking, I think any team can beat us. I think if we play Troy again, they'll give us a run for the money again. You know what I mean? And if the game wasn't delayed and we wasn't at home, hell, who knows if we even win that football game? I don't know. I really don't. We look awful. We don't recruit well anymore. This was supposed to be our best team in the past, like 5 or 6 years, recruiting-wise, and just the fact that we retained a lot of players from last year because Even though we wasn't really good last year, we was better than this year. I mean, we've regressed every year for the past half decade. I mean, we've got worse every single year. And at some point, you have to look at Dabo. At some point, the head coach has to take some blame because nothing's changing. He's got to be the guy to change it when it's bad, and nothing's changing. If anything, it's just getting worse and worse. You know what I mean? I don't know. As a Clemson fan, you're just in a tough position. You don't know what to think. You know, you can't still ride high off national championships from a decade ago. And you can't say Dabo is protected from any type of blame or what's the word I'm trying to find? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. You can't say that he can't take any blame just because of the success in the past. Yeah, he's one of the most winningest head coaches, the most winningest head coach in the ACC. But I mean, he's falling off a cliff, man. He doesn't look fired up to be a coach. He's not over there. I don't see Dabo ever yelling at a ref like he used to. I don't see him getting in a player's face and calling them out on their BS like he used to. I don't see him when Cade fumbles or something. You know, he's just always calm. Dabo's just always calm over there now. You know, he used to get fired up, especially when Brett Venables was on the sideline with him. He'd be right beside him, fucking tearing people up, you know, getting under their ass. But now it's just like, hell, Cade could go out there, fumble, throw 3 picks, and Dabo's over there clapping. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. It's tough, man. It's tough. And you don't know what to do. You don't know what to think. You just hope for the best. I mean, I don't know what the rest of this year, I mean, it's going to be a tough watch. I mean, we're going to have slugfest with every team because we can't move the ball. We'll do the same thing over and over and over and expect the same or expect a different result when we're doing the same thing. We're going to line up and run the same BS kindergarten pass play 3 or 4 times, and it don't work, and we're going to run it again. We're going to run it again. And the next drive, guess what? We're going to run it again, and we're going to run it again. And none of it works. It ain't worked for years. It's been the same offense past few years. It's not going to work. It's awful. Coaching's awful. I'm getting tired of it personally, and I know I probably sound like a broken record, but it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating when your team, when you see what's the problem, and you know that problem's probably not going to get fixed because you're not going to fire a head coach that won you 2 natties, and I don't really want Dabo fired, but I want him to do something, man. I want him to show me that he cares. Right now I don't see it, and not everything's on the coach. I mean, execution, you know, you players have to execute. The players got to be good. The players got to do their thing on the field, obviously, right? But when you're not seeing any changes, not seeing any adjustments week after week, and you just get worse year after year and week after week each season, it just seems to be getting worse. That's not a good sign, and that reflects to the head coach of the program. And that's just the truth. Whether you're a Clemson fan or not, I would say the same thing about any other team. If I had a my bad, we're back. But back to what I was saying. If I had a program, say it wasn't Clemson, say this was whoever, whatever team you want to think of. If we were going downhill 5 to 6 years in a row, looking worse every year, just the team's not motivated, the head coach doesn't look motivated, nothing's getting changed, no adjustments, anything. You'd be calling for the head coach to be fired, right? I mean, say we hired Dabo in 2019, and he coached from 2019 to now. That coach would have been fired, and that's just the truth. That's all I have to say. That's just the truth. I don't want him to be fired, but hey, man, you got to step it up. Somebody's got to get under Dabo's skin to make him want to coach like he used to coach. Just something, man. We got to win football games. We got to look better at the end of the story. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Y'all have a good night, man. I just wanted to get on here and rant for a little bit. I probably will post this on my YouTube. So if you're over there, please like and subscribe. If you're on my TikTok, please follow my page. Y'all have a good one.